I am Dr. Nidhi Khare. The impact of culture on organizations' effectiveness is both functional as well as dysfunctional. Students, in today's lecture, you will learn about the 4 functions of organizational culture and the impact these functions have on the members of an organization. As far as the dysfunctional aspect is concerned, I'll be taking it in detail in the next lecture. Now consider a situation as explained by John McLaughlin. Miss Sheetal has a decision to make. She recently started her job at XYZ department store as a sales executive. At XYZ, all new sales executives must start in the customer care department, and this is the first time Sheetal has been left in charge of the customer care desk without a supervisor. Standing in front of her is an unhappy customer who is holding a damaged painting, angrily demanding a full refund. The painting appears to be a few years old and its frame seems damaged. The irate customer does not have a receipt or any proof that he bought the painting at XYZ store. As Sheetal begins to ask the customer questions, he tells her if he doesn't get his money back right away, he will never shop at XYZ again. Sheetal must decide quickly whether or not to refund the money the man is demanding. So what will she do? The decision Sheetal makes will not be based on the training she received from XYZ or from any written store policy. Her decision as to whether or not to provide a refund to this angry customer will be guided by her perception of the value that the culture of XYZ places on customer satisfaction. Before we find out Sheetal's decision, let's find out more about organizational culture. So what exactly does organizational culture do? Organizational culture is a system of shared assumptions, values, and beliefs that governs how people behave in organizations. The culture of an organization is difficult to measure or observe, but it performs many important functions within an organization. Let's find out how culture can impact members of an organization. So as I asked before, what does organizational culture do exactly? It gives a sense of identity, defines the limits, generates commitment, and enables us to follow the rules and standards. So giving identity, the first function that organizational culture performs is providing group members with a sense of identity. The culture of an organization provides its members with a way to define who we are, because the culture of every organization is unique. Being a part of an organization gives members a sense of identity that is shared only by the people who belong to that organization. Sheetal was told during her orientation that the number one goal of XYZ is to delight customers by providing them with the best service possible at all times. When Sheetal puts on her XYZ's name tag, she feels like she is representing the high value that XYZ places on customer service. When she goes that extra mile to assist a customer, she feels like her efforts match the goals of everyone who works at XYZ store. Next, defining the limits. The next function that organizational culture performs is that it defines the boundaries for members of an organization. These invisible boundaries are the way members of an organization determine what makes us different from other organizations. The culture of an organization gives members of that organization a sense of belonging to the group and a feeling that the organization they belong to is different than any other organization. The sense of belonging is strengthened when members of an organization observe contrary behaviors from members of an opposing organization. When Sheetal shops at stores other than XYZ, she always notices the differences between the way things are done at XYZ and the way they are done at other stores. On her last visit to another department store, for example, she saw a sales associate standing outside the front of the store talking on his cell phone. Now, although XYZ has no written rules against it, Sheetal has never seen an XYZ employee take their break anywhere but in the break room. It is understood by members of the XYZ organization that the only time you should be in the presence of a customer is when you can provide them with assistance. Next, generating commitment. Another function of organizational culture is that it generates commitment from the members of an organization. This causes members of an organization to feel dedication to the group. The unique culture of an organization provides its members with a feeling that they share common goals. Achieving the goals of the organization often becomes a higher priority than the individual goals of group members. This shared feeling of commitment gives group members a reason to perform their tasks at their highest ability. The culture of XYZ department store places a high priority on sales and customer care. Before every shift, managers announce the sales goals for the day and then reveal whether or not the previous shift met their sales goal. Likewise, they also take into consideration whether the customer grievances are handled properly or not. Sheetal is aware of the importance of meeting these daily sales goals and handling the customer front, and is always looking for ways to increase the store's sales for the day and in making the customers happy. If Sheetal is helping a customer select an outfit, for example, she will always try to find the customer a pair of shoes to go with it. Sheetal focuses her efforts on helping the people on her shift meet their sales goal for the day, even if it means staying late or working on her day off to cover for a sick coworker. The last function that organizational culture provides to members of an organization is a set of unwritten rules and standards that define the rules of the game to its members. Culture acts as a social glue that helps to hold the organization together by providing appropriate rules and standards that guide group members while they complete tasks for the organization. So, culture serves to clarify and reinforce standards of behavior. While it is essential for newcomers, it is also beneficial for veterans. In a sense, culture guides employees' words and deeds, making it clear what they should do or say in a given situation. In this sense, it provides stability to behavior, both with respect to what an individual might do at different times and what different individuals may do at the same time. For example, in a company with a culture that strongly supports customer satisfaction, employees will have clear guidance as to how they are expected to behave, doing whatever it takes to please the customer. By serving these important roles, it is clear that culture is an important force in influencing behavior in organizations. Thank you.